Problem number 4, reverse string. So this is pretty straightforward question. You are given a vector of characters and you have to reverse the characters in this vector. Okay, so HELLO, as you can see, becomes OLLEH because that's what the reverse version of HELLO is. Apart from this, what they are saying is you are not allowed to use extra space, or you are not allowed to use another array in order to perform this reverse string operation. So you must modify the input array in place. So that's basically O of one extra memory. Okay. So this might be a very trivial problem for people who are already familiar with programming or who are good at programming. So this tutorial is more for people who are relatively new to programming. Okay. So I'll tell you two tricks which can be used in this problem, and as well as some other problems as well where you are dealing with strings and stuffs. So let's take some example and let's try to understand how you can solve this problem. So the thing to notice here is ith character from the start gets swapped with ith character from the end. And you do this thing only till the half of the string. Okay. So you swap this H and O, it becomes O and H. So you swap these two characters H and O, it becomes O and H. You swap these two characters E and L, it becomes L and E. You see that the third character from the start and third character from the end both are this L. So even if you swap it, it doesn't make sense. Okay, but you have to stop here now, because if you keep continuing this, if you swap the fourth one from the second one, then again this L and E will get swapped and it will again become E and L. So you have to stop your algorithm before the half of the vector or half of this string appears. Okay, so this is the case where length of the string is odd, and this is the case where length of the string is even. So just consider both of these cases. Okay, first when length of the string is odd, and second when length of the string is even. Okay, so in this case, say for example, if n is 5 and the string that we have is 0 1 2 3 4, and in this case say n equals 4 and the string that we have is 0 1 2 3. So 0 gets swapped with 4, 1 gets swapped with 3, and if you do this, what you obtain is 4, because 0 gets swapped with 4, so 4 appears here and 0 appears here. 1 gets swapped with 3, so 3 appears here, 1 appears here, and you leave the 2 as it is because you only run this algorithm till less than half of the string. So this is 4 3 2 1 0, which is the swapped version of 0 1 2 3 4. Okay, here in this case 0 gets swapped with 3 and 1 gets swapped with 2, and the moment you do that, what you obtain is 3 0 here, 2 and a 1 here. Okay, so this is the answer that you obtain when you swap 0 1 2 3 4 and 0 1 2 3. Okay, so the trick here is to only iterate till the index which is less than n by 2, and in fact the floor of n by 2. If you do the integer division in your program, you'll automatically obtain the floor of n by 2. Okay, so since n is 5 here, you only iterate till less than 5 by 2, which is less than 2.5 floor, which is less than 2. Okay, so we only iterate for 1 and 0, and we just swap with their counterparts. We'll see how to get the index of these counterparts. Okay, and here in this case also, since n is 4, so n by 2 is going to be 2, and you iterate only till less than 2. So you iterate only till 0 and 1, and you swap them with their counterparts. Okay, now how to obtain these counterparts? So you can use one more trick here. You can see that the ith character from the start and the ith character from the end, if you sum the index of these two characters, it's always going to be n minus 1. You can verify that. First character from the start, first character from the end. If you sum them up, you get 0 plus 3, which is 3, which is n minus 1. Okay. 0 plus 1 plus 2, which is again 3, which is again n minus 1. So the ith character from the start and the ith character from the end always sums up to n minus 1. So we'll see what is the index of ith character from the end if we go from the start. So what I'm saying is, at what index is the ith character from the end located? So suppose the ith character from the end is located at index j from the start. So what we can have is I plus j equals n minus 1, because this is the relation that we have observed just now. So j comes out to be n minus 1 minus I. This is the second thing that you can remember. The first thing is you only need to iterate till less than n by 2. And the second thing is the ith character from the end can be obtained as n minus 1 minus I from the start. Okay. So pretty straightforward. Let's just code this thing up. So first let's calculate the size of this string, which is n. As we discussed, we will only iterate till less than n by 2. So for I equals 0, I less than n by 2 plus I. The ith character from the start gets swapped with the ith character from the end, which is nothing but n minus 1 minus ith character from the start. Okay, so this is what we'll do. J equals n minus 1 minus I, and we just swap s of I with s of j. That's it. Done. So let's just try to run this code. You can see I already got that accepted before. But anyways, I'll just try to submit this again. Accepted. That's it. Thanks for watching.